Bello? How's it going? No, you. My best friend and I banned it. We say no you, we get in trouble. Me and my no, that's why she's and she's dating one dude.
What's actually going on?
She's dating one dude.
She didn't survive the impact.
It did. No, like it did.
No, she started dating the other dude.
No, she's like long distance. Flying out.
To where? She actually went there. We're gonna do a gig in Nashville.
What? Big best friend here.
Oh, Seamus is super sad. I think you like hold me class, like press down C sharp, D, and G sharp. Just press B flat. C sharp. Elevation. Your left, your left. Drop D. And down G sharp, C sharp. And then put down B. Like just press the B flat. Literally everything except for the last one. Well, no, don't do it then. Don't do it.
Is there going to be a time to get him off soon? You're a pretty cool guy.
What a guy. I did, but the sun, like,
The sun fatigue.
makes me so tired.
Yeah, I got like 14 hours of the sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
my mom just burned.
Did my dad ever text you? Did my dad ever text you? Okay.
Yeah, there's an SPF. It doesn't even match.
Who's got the sunblock? Yeah, who's got sunscreen? Yeah, Evan, where's the sunscreen? Where's the sunscreen?
Dude, it's the Irish people. I can win. The 15's pretty good. It's like
50's like, how do you make something?
Oh, they like block the sun. He's so stupid.
I love it.
It's so stupid. It's just
And he's like, so what are we doing? No, it's
every
just so
time.
funny. He's like, so what are we
It
doing
was
here?
funny one time. And I was
Watching a
like,
baseball game?
Mr. Millie, is the songs in order?
Seamus, what kind of question? Real talk.
I don't know, but like, just your answer my question. I played it.
Are they in order? Yes.
I mean, in practice, we didn't get
That's why the recessional will be at the end. The recessional will be at the
You're good. How do you got my soul?
Learn about the risk.
I get 10 because I don't like it. My mom just burned. Like the iceberg.
Dude, in sixth grade, I went to a party. That guy had,
Went to a pool party.
yeah, just like for the end of the grade.
Shit, that's a
He pressed the house kid.
somewhat like extreme somewhere like 7 degree. It's like full 5 star.
No, but if somebody's
Let's see if I can find the picture.
5 star?
Yeah, my brother touched me and he left a handprint from it.
You know one star?
Everything except for chest.
just have the mark.
It's so yeah, some guys sometimes put typical, my brother put typical and they shape his legs and extra leg. And all the red stripes was some stuff. Like he left the parts open because of red stripes. But he didn't got the start. He had to suffer that 90 degree days.
Now he's gonna get himself.
Well, he got this one and cut out the shape and like left the extra leg on the back.
Everybody purposely did.
Like he actually got something like this last time. I'll try to get the picture. It's actually pretty cool. Just something like this one.
Oh man, new phone. It's fine.
I was going to tell you, I know her name.
We have a bonfire right now. It's so girl. Cool guy. Say hello. Is the full mass?
No mass, just graduation.
Oh, okay.
Mass was Tuesday. You guys were off. I'm hoping like 12. The problem is getting people on the parking lot. Like your parents come to pick you up and you drop the ball cars. Here we go, let's go, fellas. Here we go, here it is. Ready? 4 beats. Good for Hansa. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Lord God, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather today to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2021. Over the last 4 years, you have given us the strength to overcome obstacles and grow into the men seated here today. We thank you for guiding us to become men of intellect and accomplishment, faith and compassion, service and justice, and integrity and respect. We have been helped along this journey by our faculty, who have devoted their time to creating the most well-rounded men possible, by our classmates, who helped create a brotherhood that gives each of us the ability to learn in a positive environment, and finally, our parents, who have given us the support we needed through their unconditional love. As we prepare to move on from LaSalle, we ask you for your guidance to support us in helping us find our way in life. Just as we entered to learn, we must now leave to serve. Let us take the lessons we have learned here at LaSalle and use them to create a more compassionate society. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen. St. John Baptist de LaSalle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome, Brother James, Mr. O'Toole, faculty, staff, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the class of 1971, parents, grandparents, friends, and lastly, my brothers before me of the class of 2021. It is hard to believe that our journey here at LaSalle is coming to an end. But before we conclude on this incredible journey that we have all had the opportunity to experience, I invite you to look back on how our journey began, where we went, what we have experienced, and where we are going. Our journey began in the gymnasium for freshman orientation. As you think back to that day, I ask you to think of how you were feeling. You may have looked around at our classmates, wondering if you're going to have any friends or be accepted for who you are. You may have felt a sense of nervousness, excitement, or a mix between the two. But now, think about how you are feeling today. You probably have a sense of unassuming confidence in yourself and our class as we go on to bigger things. I believe that this contrast of our feeling from our first day to our last is representative of our Lasallian journey. So, what happened over these years that brought this change of feeling from our first day to our last? I think that there are quite a few reasons why, as we look upon what makes our school and the class of 2021 so special to each and every one of us. The first is our diversity and inclusion. Here at LaSalle, we have so much diversity in who we are and what we do. No matter if your talent or passion is in art, speech and debate, music, theater, sports, technology, writing, or anything that you can possibly imagine, it is accepted, appreciated, and celebrated here. Each and every day, we would celebrate each other's passions and talents. Whether it was cheering on the basketball team at the Palestra, filling up the bleachers to cheer on the band at the jazz assembly, or squishing spotted lanternflies to support Sean Bradley and the Environmental Club, we have celebrated each other's passions and talents no matter what they are. The second attribute that our class holds is adaptation. Since the beginning of freshman year, we have all had to adapt. We adapted to new schedules, new policies, and new rules. But I think it was the end of junior year, that we all had to adapt the most. When the pandemic first hit, we didn't think much of it. Maybe just 2 weeks off from school. 2 weeks to 4, 8, and before we knew it, we weren't going back to school for the rest of the year. Instead of looking at what we lost, I prefer that we look at what we have gained. The pandemic gave us a new perspective of how anything at any time can change and be taken away from us. I would argue that the pandemic even allowed us to grow closer together. When we returned in a hybrid format, we took in every moment that we could together as a class because we never knew when things could change and lose the ability to see each other again. Our adaptation also displays how much we cared about making it to this very day. Together, we showed everyone that nothing could stop us from graduating from this place that we love. No matter if our schedule included being all in, virtual, hybrid, hybrid plus, or hybrid plus plus, we would do and did do anything to finish out our time at LaSalle to be called alumni. The last aspect of our class that I would like to address is our brotherhood. LaSalle has a brotherhood unlike any other. It is what has helped us form who we are and what we do. It is what creates our strong relationships that will last forever. No matter if it was in school or out of school, our relationships grew closer and closer together over our 4 years. We even had the opportunity to expand our relationships in unimaginable ways through our experiences on Kairos, the pinnacle moments of understanding what brotherhood is. Together, we got to share our experiences in life and gain a better understanding of each other, who we are, and how God surrounds us each and every day. The way we came together on Kairos and various other experiences over our time here at LaSalle truly displays the brotherhood that we share here together. Together. That is in essence what brotherhood is all about. No matter what we have experienced and gone through, we have done it here, together as brothers. Now it is time to go on together. The choices that we have made for the past 4 years have been inventing ourselves one day at a time. Now we have a better understanding of ourselves, each other, the world, and what it means to be LaSallian. And so our journey here at LaSalle comes to an end. But a new one is just beginning. It is now up to each and every one of us to take what we have learned here at LaSalle to go forth and leave to serve. So now, we go on. We go on to be men of intellect and accomplishment, to be lifelong learners. We go on to be men of faith and compassion, to respect human dignity and morality. we go on to be men of service and justice, to stand up to the injustices in our world. And lastly, we go on to be men of integrity and respect, as gentlemen, to treat people with dignity and respect. So here's to living the rest of our lives as LaSallian gentlemen. While no one knows for sure what each of us will see or do, I do know that it will be quite an adventure that we will share together no matter who we are, just as we have here at LaSalle over the past 4 years. We laughed together, we cried together, we smiled together, and now we go on together.
Good morning. We were pleased to recognize the departmental achievements of students at a prior ceremony on Monday morning, and all those Monday afternoon, and all those the awards are listed in the program. Today it is my honor to present to Brother James for medaling students who are being awarded special LaSalle College High School School Awards. I ask the award winners to come forward one at a time and be medaled by Brother James. The Men of LaSalle Loyalty Medal and a $500 grant are awarded to Lucas Sebastiano Braccia. The First Lieutenant Travis J. Mannion, USMC, Class of '99, Memorial Medal and $500 grant for the Senior Scholar Athlete is awarded to Mason Anthony Sermarini. The LaSalle College High School Alumni Association Award and $500 grant to the graduating senior who has best embodied over 4 years the principles of loyalty, commitment, generosity, and camaraderie is awarded to Connor Michael Bagansky. The Dr. Edward A. and Beatrice C. Dahowski Senior Medal and $500 grant for the student who best exemplifies the principles of St. John Baptist de La Salle and the Christian Brothers is awarded to Kevin John Comerford. The John McShane Medal and $500 grant to the student who has worked hardest to bring credit to LaSalle College High School is awarded to Emmett Brennan Young. The William A. Mean Class of '44 Award and $1,000 grant for outstanding community service is awarded to Louis Peter DePed. The Class of 1973 Spirit Award and $1,000 grant for the student who has worked the hardest to promote a healthy sense of participation and enthusiasm for the full range of activities at LaSalle is awarded to Kavork Joseph Sabari. Thank you.
For one last time, before I must henceforth call you alumni, I greet you as I did at your freshman tie ceremony. As always, men of LaSalle College High School. It's nice out. This catchphrase, typically associated with Luke Reshko's iconic brand, are surely true this morning. If it were not so, and we were somehow disinclined to wait until next Tuesday to move you along, well, at least we'd have the tents to fall back on. I often think of those tents as the best decision I ever made. While this verdict may point to a lifetime characterized by poor decision-making more than anything else, the tents have indisputably served many purposes. From admissions events to crew ergathons to Mothers Club meetings to father-son banquets to the band social to the fashion show, where some of you made Trappist monks look comfortable in the limelight. Our use of those tents began, though, in sorrow. Back before the original was cloned, it was first filled when we assembled to mourn the death of your classmate and brother, Isaiah. Yet you returned to reclaim the spot for joy in gathering for the prom, an event that doubtless left Zay smiling broadly, watching you from his place in the Father's house, as he surely does today. The fact that our principal tent doubled in size before October and was augmented by the others in the pit and grotto suggests an important lesson you might consider today. Simply put, pitch a broad and wide tent. As you go through life, don't be consumed by surrounding yourself with those you feel similar to, comfortable with, and unchallenged by. LaSalle has always been such a big tent. So we thank men who have had a special place under it. Messrs. Glacken, Dominic, Nicoletti, and Vittori as they retire. Mr. Whitney, upon taking the helm at the Academy of the Holy Names for the young ladies of Tampa. Tyrrell and McCartney just started paying attention, you'll note, when I mentioned the young ladies of Tampa in the same sentence. We offer special tribute to Principal Michael O'Toole, who first found his place under this tent 57 years ago and returned from major surgery to confront the pandemic, never once putting his comfort before your welfare and success. We're grateful, Mike, and we'll make a new spot for you in 2022. When thinking of tents, which I rarely did between Cub Scouts and last August, recall their primary purpose, providing a place of refuge. If you've ever been in a Bedouin tent, and predictably I have, you will find them far more than a retreat from the Arabian Peninsula's torrid, unrelenting sun and bleak winter nights. Stepping inside, one discovers they are more spacious than imagined, quite comfortable, and often cool. Not just shelter, but a home. I couldn't think of a better way, a better sentence to describe LaSalle. They provide a place for the clan to celebrate, as ours did a week or so ago when Anthony Rossi taught me the first dance step I have learned since the age of disco. Though our humble tents were looking undeniably chic by the time prom rolled around, they hardly set the standard for luxury tenting. A whole mode of vacationing now exists called glamping. You can spend over $1,000 a night to be roughly housed at the Three Camel Lodge in Mongolia, almost twice that for the sand camp in Botswana. The ultimate would probably be longitude 131 in the red center of Australia, overlooking Ayers Rock. Their standard issue tents go for about $4,000 a night per person, minimum 3-night stay. These arrangements are certainly an ironic inversion of the original purpose of tenting, which is to be in service of people on the move, as you now are. One path completed, another chosen, it is right to keep moving, despite nostalgia's pull, the doubt and confusion accompanying a new direction. In a desert, obviously, blowing sand quickly obscures the path anyone made, but not so yours at LaSalle. Your achievements will endure, but you likewise have much endured these past 15 months. Hasn't exactly qualified as glamping. Anxiety and uncertainty were constant companions. While we got the most of the typical athletic and events calendar in, some things fell by the wayside. For example, you never once got to play volleyball in the pit with your friends. That space, the one where we unfortunately didn't strike the tent before the snowstorm, was early on commandeered for alfresco dining and smaller events. Seems likely, thank God, that the class of 2022 and future seniors will again be able to blow off steam in the pit, but with a difference. Henceforth, the pit will also be titled the Class of 2021 Court and Commons. I think we may have some signage up already, if you'd like to have a look. This designation becomes a permanent tribute to all you were required to negotiate throughout these past 15 months. No friend of the trite, I will avoid employing much overused words beginning with G and R to describe your response. Instead, let me focus on one simple truth. When it would have been easy to become isolated and self-absorbed, you gave and returned love to your teachers, to each other, and to LaSalle. And it is that love, against all odds, the love bridging the chasm of death itself, which unites all 241 of you again in victory, that the class of 2021 Court and Commons will forever recall at LaSalle. Congratulations, and God bless you always, gentlemen.
Brother James and Mr. O'Toole, the class of 2021 seated before you has completed the program of studies in fulfillment of our graduation requirements. On the recommendation of our faculty, I present them to you to receive their diplomas.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Board of Trustees of LaSalle College High School, and the recommendation of the administration and faculty, a diploma of graduation is conferred upon each member of the class of 2021 who has successfully completed the prescribed program of studies at LaSalle College High School.
At this time, we will call up students by their homerooms. Please hold your applause until all the students within each homeroom are recognized. Will Mr. Mark Collins and the members of homeroom 1D please come forward? Sean Anderson. Jake Armstrong. Nicholas Astolfi. Jaden Ailing. Christian Azarano. Robert Belay. Christian Bardsley. Timothy Barrett. August Blatney. John Bosch. Connor Bagansky. Matthew Bowes. Lucas Braccia. Maxwell Linz. James Loftus. Tristan Loftus. Michael Lombardi. Henry Loom. Regan Lockney. Robert McCartney. Duncan McDonald. Justin Machida. Joshua McCunis. And Paul Macalino. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Miss Mariani and members of homeroom 2D please come forward? Dylan Chandler. Benjamin Chatsanoff. Joseph Chesnick. Thomas Christie. Anthony Citro. Ryan Coggins. Kevin Comerford. Jackson Conroy. William Cook. Luca Kasha. Patrick Coyle. Daniel Cronin. Bernard Cummings. Aiden McNair. Timothy McNamara. Timothy Melman. Richard Meister. Patrick Miko. Gavin Mook. Michael Moore. Cole Morris. Cade Motley. Kyle Mullen. And Robert Nagel. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Kyle Werman and the members of Homeroom 3D please come forward? Brendan Donachie. Owen Donahue. Connor Donahue. Liam Doherty. Kevin Dowds. Joseph Duffy. Ryan Engelbreath. Caleb Evans. Owen Felbin. Travis Farrell. Hugh Fitzpatrick. Riley Forschetti. Jackson Ford. James Petrone.
John Petrone. Nicholas Quirk. Charles Radamicki. Luke Romalo. Aiden Ramirez. Joseph Ranieri. Matthew Rausch. Peter Ray. Cullen Remus. Aiden Renz. And Andrew Rhines. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Bernard Abrams and the members of Homeroom 4D please come forward? Connor Goodyear. Nicholas Goricki. Thomas Greenberg. Joshua Gray. William Gross. Luke Grassi. James Guerin. Nathaniel Habouche. Shane Hagan. Michael Hannon. Jalen Hanton. Matthew Hartman. Ryan Harvey. Noah Jenks. Eric Chandler. Connor Shorten. Ryan Simons. Colin Sittler. Bailey Slotwinski. Cooper Snyder. Adam Spera. Michael Steers. Griffin Steinman. Tyler Stimler. Nicholas Storty. And Tyler Somerville. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Matthew Derrick and the members of Homeroom 5D please come forward? Thomas Hutton. Ryan Igo. Charles Ireland. Taj Jacobs. Christopher Jansen. Colin Jeffress. Paul Jennings. Simon Carr. Lucky Kaczynski. Ryan Keenan. Gavin Kelly. Liam Kennedy. Will Vanny. John Ventry. Mario Ventresca. Daniel Wagner. Ryan Walsh. Jingyi Wang. Spencer Ward. William Weber. Taj Weems. Jacob West. James Wheeler. And Eugene Whitaker. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Justin Harbour and members of the Homeroom 6D please come forward? Sean Bradley. Mason Branch. Riley Brennan. Paul Broski. Brian Brown. Michael Brown. Patrick Brown. John Buchanan. Timothy Buchanan. Andrew Budzinski. Derek Campo. Michael Casey. Joseph Caddy. Declan McGuire. William Manchester. Connor Mangan. John Manganello. Ryan Marler. Matthew Mattia. Ethan McBride. Daniel McBrien. Connor McCormick. Mark McDonough. Brendan McGinn. Matthew McHutchison. And Ryan McLaughlin. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Ryan McDowell and the members of Homeroom 7D please come forward? Connor Cunningham. Brandon Curran. John Dalfo. Thomas Dalfo. Gavin Daly. Michael Davis. Liam Delaney. Alexander Della Pena. Cameron DeMoy. Louis DePed. Andrew Dolloway. Matthew DeMonico. Lawrence Narcissi. Benjamin Nesbitt. Liam Newell. Zahua Niu. Owen Norris. Connor O'Brien. Michael O'Connor. Daniel Alt. Michael O'Neill. Charlton Opdahl. Jordan Paris. Julian Paris. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mrs. Pamela Seeley and the members of homeroom 8D please come forward? Aloysius Frank. Brendan Fry. Nicholas Fuchs. Patrick Gallagher. Dominic Gallo. Matthew Garvin. Connor Gayton. John Geib. Justin Giannini. Ryan Geilinger. James Giordano. Ryan Goodwin. Aiden Ritzky. Rylan Ritzky. Bray Rivera. Gregory Roman. Anthony Rossi. Tyler Ruan. Peter Savarese. Garrett Schleeper. Brian Scotto. Alexander Senek. And Mason Sermarini. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Michael McKee and the members of homeroom 9D please come forward? Kaylin Hatcher. Sean Hawthorne. Corey Haydu. Aiden Healy. Harry Hearn. John Heenan. Benjamin Heron. Harrison Himes. Edward Hoffman. Joseph Hohenleitner. Harrison Hope. Luke Hreshko. Christopher Tate. Jake Taylor. Thomas Thunkuzi. Michael Toth. Michael Tracy. Patrick Tracy. Patrick Troy. Michael Tyrrell. Andrew Valenzuela. Joseph Valinas. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Will Mr. Vish Patel and the members of homeroom 10D please come forward? Nicholas Kennedy. David Kimmel. Zachary Combe. Kevin Kwok. Paul Ladouceur. Jason Land. Ryan Landry. Gavin Lanuti. Mason Lazaz. Thomas Leng. Casey Leonard. Nicholas White. Jake Whitlinger. Ryan Wills. Jeffrey Wilson. Jason Wojnicki. Junyi Wu. Emmett Young. Charles Zapp. Kevork Zybari. Ryan Zimmerman. And John Zinni. Congratulations, gentlemen. Of course, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my honor, let's recognize and applaud the class of 2021 of LaSalle College High School.
Welcome, Brother James, Mr. O'Toole, esteemed members of the Board of Trustees, members of the administration, treasured teachers, beloved parents, and my LaSallian brothers. So I was watching an episode of SpongeBob recently. Oh wait, Brother James, I think you may have left your speech up here. I'll leave the tasteful pop culture references to you. Today is a day for celebration and remembrance. A day of commemoration and reminiscence, for today is the day we depart from LaSalle College High School, a place where many of us have spent more waking hours than we did in our own homes. Now, I could talk for hours about how amazing LaSalle is and all it has done to prepare us for college. The school does have its many merits, but the school will be here tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that, and for every day in the foreseeable future. And, you know, although we really do have nice fields and facilities, that's not why we're here today. No. Right now, I'm going to talk about us, the collective us. You, me, and everyone here, the true LaSalle community. Now, the true LaSalle isn't just the school mascot or the building. It isn't just the students, just the faculty and administration, or just the Board of Trustees. Nor is it just our parents who gave us the opportunity to attend school here and guided us throughout our high school experience. The true LaSalle is the community. Every single person sitting on these fields today. I think it's important to recognize that. Because how special must we be that the very core of LaSalle's being is here to celebrate us? But you know, what makes us so special? Now, to answer such a question, we have to look at the big picture. The big picture, for our purposes, doesn't have a single definition. It is the summary of all the experiences we've had over the past 4 years. Our successes and our losses, our triumphs and our failures. Everyone's picture will look a little different. There are, however, some things that do look the same. Let's break it down. As a class, we have lost much. We lost the end of our junior year, lost many of the early social events of our senior year, barely returning to a semblance of normalcy just last week at our prom. We had many losses this year, the hardest of which was when we lost our brother Isaiah. But you see, a loss is a funny thing, not ha-ha funny, but interesting funny. The meaning of a loss changes over time. As the initial sting fades, we tend to realize that those very experiences that hurt our hearts and lacerate our souls also test the very fabric of our being. Loss tests our emotions. It tests our will, our strength, and most importantly, our faith. Every great man has been tested in his life. Every great man, at one point, has been tested in his life. Look at Robert Downey Jr. He battled addiction for most of his young life, and now he's one of the most successful actors of our time. Benjamin Franklin, who showed up to Philadelphia one day with only 2 loaves of bread to his name. Look at Michael Phelps, who overcame 2 DUIs and a drinking problem to become the most decorated Olympian of all time. They all faced tremendous loss, despair, and turmoil, but they overcame it against all odds. This year, we were all tested. And while it may not have been as hard as one of Mrs. Nedzwecki's math tests, it was by no means easy. But the test that we endured this year was the same test high school students around the world faced. So if the test we faced wasn't so special, then what was? I think former President Theodore Roosevelt said it best. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the end, at best, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory nor defeat. The test we faced wasn't special. Our answer was. We didn't take the turmoil and loss lying down. We faced it sword in hand, ready to cut through the fog of despair, to put together a year I think we all are proud of. We put in the work, day in and day out. Online school was a tough adjustment, but that didn't stop us from performing our best academically. When sports were about to be canceled, we worked our hardest to stay safe and healthy to make sure that they happened. When our Lasallian brother and his family needed our support, we made sure that we were there for them. When it came down to big games, like the Flyers Cup, the LaSalle Wood baseball game, and the baseball semifinal, shout out LaSalle Baseball, we were there to cheer our brothers on every step of the way. So what makes us so special out of every other class of 2021? We didn't give up. Despite the loss, despite the world around us falling apart, we did not give up. Now there's a Bible passage I want to leave you with from St. Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, and I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. We all have grown from when we arrived here 4 years ago. Our experience has helped us become true Lasallian gentlemen. There is no question about that. So I say again, when I was a child, I thought like a child, and I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I left my childish ways behind. We leave here today as men and as brothers to one another. And so now, the time has come for all of us to go and be the great men we were always meant to be.